Hey guys, it's Nicole. Most of you are probably at work with jobs, and I'm sitting here, and it's just been so long since I got to use Mediterranean that I can't stand it, and I just want to come on. Not long at all. I know that I say that every freaking time, and I talk almost an hour, but I just wanted to come on. I mean, I can't fathom that any of y'all might not have seen Mediterranean at this point. I swear my front door is fixing to go from Amalfi to Mediterranean. Hey, Anita from Tennessee. Good morning, Helen. My gosh, 14, 15 of y'all just jumped. Hey, Crinlin, Terry. I can't believe Monday morning 15 of y'all just jumped right on. Anyway, I can't stand it. And hey, howdy Carla. Hey Tracy. And with my dental thing last week, I'm a little back set, and I'm sure a repeat client of mine bought this and chose Mediterranean with gold. Hi Patty from Minnesota. I bet you are colder than me, and I bet you're gonna get colder. Hey Joan, I'm so glad you could catch me too, and that I could catch you. That's right. Hashtag Mediterranean is life. I gotta admit, it's a little, Tracy, I'm sure you feel me, because Tracy's from Texas too. It's a little more humid today than it was yesterday. When I looked this morning, good morning, Kim Hyman, it was like 93% humidity. But I'm just gonna put a little bit of Mediterranean on with y'all. I'd love to see like the share icon going up. I know I ask for that every time, but like I always say, I'm not too proud to beg. Also, my husband sent me this, and I know it's backwards. He sent me this feather line. He sent me a bunch of paint brushes over the summer. I feel like I can't talk right. And it starts to hurt if I talk too much. So y'all can, hey Linda. So y'all, hey Kim. So y'all can just imagine that my mouth hurts often because I talk so much. But anyway, Ryan sent me a bunch of paint brushes over the summer. Like when I got back from Puerto Rico, they were here waiting for me. And I have been wanting to use this because I thought, how cool. I have not added it to my Amazon store because I want to use it first and see how it works before I make you go spend your money on it. I don't even know what he spent on it, but how nice. Instead of like a bouquet of flowers, he sent me a, hey Janine, you're just now using Mediterranean for the first time ever. Are you sure we're friends? We can't be friends if you're just, like, hurry up, do it. Send me pictures, I'll share them on my page. Mediterranean is life. Anyway, hey Debbie. You're so welcome. I started my Monday morning with taking kids to school, and then me and the oldest ran to the grocery store, and then me and the oldest moved and pushed aside and organized to the best of my ability this mess and pulled out, this is due next. And then when I get done with this, I have two small nightstands to do in a purple. I'm positive that y'all are not going to want to miss purple and gold nightstands. I'm distracted by the car driving by, you know, squirrel. Diane, it's still whelped. Like, I put the roll-on Benadryl on it, and I'm trying, like I said, not to itch my face off. It probably helped that I did take a shower last night, since I worked yesterday. And I scrubbed it with my face scrubbers, but not too hard. But like it's itching right now. And several people are like, poison ivy, but the weird thing is, I've never been allergic to poison ivy. I'm the only person that can pull the weeds in the front yard because everybody else in the house is allergic. And this happened like overnight. Hey Anita, so I cannot fathom how this would have happened, but I just want it to go away because, honey, you'll notice the camera's up here because in the right light and whatnot, oh, it just looks jacked up. Hey, look, I even had time to get a Starbucks this morning. with a gift card. Like, what feels better than when you actually have time to go through Starbucks and you have a gift card and didn't have to spend your own money? Awesome. Okay, let's do this. Look. Oh my goodness. Now, just to let y'all know, I did sand down the top a little bit. There were a couple of scratches over there, and you can see where I sanded them out long ways. And I did thoroughly clean it down with Crud Cutter, which, by the way, I realized this morning that I had the pre-paint Crud Cutter in my Amazon store, and I didn't have this one. So I added that to my store this morning, and I just cleaned and wiped it thoroughly, the whole thing down with this. The thing about if you clean with TSP is it leaves a sort of film behind. So you definitively have to go back with like soap and water. Anita Galbraith, I hope I said that correctly. You need to be pulling out the Mediterranean, sister. Hey, Polly Flippin', thanks for watching. I just cleaned it down with Crud Cutter, and I'm going straight to it. I don't know what it looks like on you guys' side of the camera, but this is a pretty bright red wood, like with a ton of colors. You would need to prime first. With a white, absolutely you would prime. So let's see how, I mean, I know the answer to this question, but let's see how Mediterranean covers. If you have never used, and by the way, if I have the camera set in such a way that you guys cannot see my face, you know, all you have to do is swipe the comments. Everything's backward because I'm on an Android, but you just swipe the comments right, and you can't see hey, Shannon Kingsbury. You can't see everybody's comments and whatnot, but you can see me and you can see what I'm doing. If the comments are in the way, just swap them off, and if you want to turn them back on, you swap them back left. But look, I'm telling y'all, Mediterranean is it. If you have not used Mediterranean, you have to. And I can't wait to see how this brush, because, you know, sometimes my hands cramp holding those, holding my brushes and whatnot, especially in my thumb area. It's just started in the last couple of months, and I thought, gosh, I can hold this like a ball. And I want to see, I conditioned it, you know, with soap and water and rubbed it on my arm to get any bristles out, because this is the first time I'm using it. Let's see. I gotta tell you, it's super weird not holding a brush, or like, it feels weird. Weird, but good. Like, I'll get used to it. But I'm so used to holding a paintbrush, it feels awkward. What I want to see is it going to leave any brush strokes? Now, I obviously did not expect, like, one coat coverage. But I can see there's a bristle already, so that perturbs me a little bit. But I think it's fair to ask for 2 coat coverage from Mediterranean, because it's just that great to work with. You know, I remember when I started and I wondered, I was too cheap to buy a round brush, and I used one of the, you know, regular paint brushes from Home Depot or Lowe's, and I just couldn't figure it out. And the consistency of chalk paint is so different that you sort of need the bulk of a round brush. And I find, rather than like using a regular brush and using it the correct way with chalk paint, I would have to turn it sideways to get the, hey Tara Salter, hey Tammy, I would have to get them, like, Melanie, how you doing? Tony, it's like a Monday morning party. Hey Les, I should be with Les in the gym right now, dadgummit, y'all. Julie. But I would find that I needed the muscle of turning the regular paintbrush sideways, so that I was literally only painting like this big of a strip. Only when you go buy a used brush, or a round brush, and I'm not saying you have to spend like $50 on a brush. I will never spend $50 on a brush. But Only when you use a round brush will you know and appreciate why most people use a round brush with chalk paint. So this belongs to Miss Shelley. I have no idea if she's watching or not, but she, because of my mouth, has been patiently waiting for this. She has not even once asked, and I appreciate it so much. And this is also going to have gold and black Shiva. And as you can see, it's details for days. I mean, it's going to be beautiful. What's funny about this is, I don't know if all of y'all know who Jennifer Allwood is. She's sort of a, gosh, she is a creative dreamer and thinker and leader and self-improvement guru, and she's very motivating. And I saw her in the last year, another refinisher like myself, redid this exact same desk for her and drove it to her new house. I think she lives in Indiana. Somebody tell me, I mean, am I that big of a fan that I know that Jennifer Allwood lives in Indiana? I can't be right. And hey, I cannot see y'all's comments right now from all the way over there. But I'll get back over there in a minute. But I saw Amy Murray did this exact desk for Jennifer Allwood. Exact. And she did it a blue, funny enough. She did it a blue with a black powder glaze. And gold glitters drawer sides. I remember that. Because who doesn't like some bling? And now here I am getting to do, which I already have. I've had this desk probably close to a year, several months. I just haven't gotten around to it. And, but it just sold. So, but it was cool to see Jennifer Allwood has this exact same. You can see, I don't know if y'all can tell right here, it's definitely going to be 2-coat coverage. That's like barely dry. And honestly, with the humidity, I need to be careful about going back over it. This is how people right here mess up their paint jobs and get brush stroke. But I could tell just by tapping that a couple times over the first coat that it'll definitely be 2-coat coverage. But with this weather, I'm going to have to let the first coat, you know, normally the minute it's dry to the touch, I just go back over with the second coat. I don't think it's going to be quite that easy with this high humidity. Kansas City, Allie, you are so right. No, you're so right. Like the minute you said it, I was like, yep, I'm wrong. Monique, I love Crud Cutter. It's all I use. I hate TSP. I feel like I need to freaking fumigate and move out of my own garage, and then I have to go back over it because it leaves a film. I feel like my paint comes back, and I'm not dogging anybody else that likes TSP, but I feel like half the time my freaking paint wants to pull back off of TSP. I can't stand TSP. To each his own. Absolutely, Tammy. I've used Wedgwood. God, if my memory wasn't so shot and I wasn't so old, I used it recently on something as a wash. I want to say, I don't remember. Somebody else might remember for me. Sheila, I'm using a brush that Ryan sent me off Amazon. And before I add it to my page, I wanted to use it and see how it works. I've lost one bristle so far. I thought it was just, it's a feather line. But I just wanted to use it before I added it to the page. Like, I don't want to be adding crap to my Amazon page that, you know, is no good and I don't know nothing about. Tammy, I'm using the original Crud Cutter, but the pre-paint Crud Cutter is really good too. Those are my twos. I think the other one's blue. Janelle, absolutely. Shannon, I'm so glad. I don't do nothing without him. I didn't keep it. Oh, Lord, y'all are talking, like y'all are having your own conversations without me, I think, y'all. I think they're right. Everybody's answering my question and I don't even know it. Oh, Marguerite, don't tell me that. Maybe you're just got more muscles than I am. But, I mean, he sent me a ton of them. I may as well see it, you know, if they work. But the handle, it just, I feel like if you have arthritis or you've been painting for a long time like I have, and like I said a while ago, so I'm left-handed, and here's how I hold my brush, and I'm telling you that right here just starts to cramp up on me. I mean, I keep pushing through. I don't know what arthritis feels like. I don't know if that's it, but it starts to hurt. And I just thought, how awesome to hold something like a ball. Linda, you do not need to sand first. But I did because I made some pretty good scratches down there and I wanted to smooth them out. But honestly, all you need to do is clean your piece really well and go to town. And that's if you're using this paint. I'm not speaking for all paints. If you happen to be new to my page, this is Heirloom Traditions. It's a self-sealing, self-leveling, standalone chalk paint. I would love to tell you that it's no priming. I will tell you that in most cases it is no priming, but if you are painting with white, regardless of what kind, you need to prime. If you're painting with white. I just saw the cutest thing. You guys know I have ADD, and I have packages from my dental thing, boxes, 5 boxes of stuff I have not even opened, and I have them, the boxes stacked up right behind the camera, and I just happened to like glance over there. Hold on. Like, I've had these boxes for 2 weeks, and I don't know how I never noticed this, and here's a box from Heirloom Traditions. And I just saw, and it says, Love Melissa. And I know it's backwards, but I just thought that was cute. I order enough, I feel like I could get a handwritten note. Yeah, the stool is great, y'all. Miss Linda actually wants me to add one to my page, but I got to sit down and take the time to actually review them and look through them and not add a piece of crap that you're going to go, like, spend a few dollars on and it's not going to work. I'm just going to quickly move this down here. And there might be somebody on here who has never used the sponge. And I just want to... Gosh, without jacking this camera up, let me see if I can. Of course not. Like, I can't even remember how I got it at that angle. And I just thought maybe if I had anybody who... So this is a Heirloom Traditions True Applicator Sponge. They come in a 2-pack. Again, I'm a tightwad and I'm cheap, and when I started, or when they came out with these, I didn't want to spend the money on them. Never mind, it's only, you know, $8 for 2, so they're $4 a piece. I didn't want to spend the money on them, and at the time it was a 1-pack. So I went to O'Reilly's and I bought one of those big car wash sponges and cut it into 4s, and it worked pretty good. And then I don't remember, they ran a special and I ordered some. And first off, these have the ability to have a little handle, just a little convenience. Number 2, it's a completely different material and foam density, and that's why you should pay the $8 for the 2-pack instead of O'Reilly's. And it may not work for everybody, but it dang sure works for me, and they dang sure last forever. Lindsay, I'm using a Featherline brush that I'm sort of using and reviewing for the first time, and if I like it, I will add it to my Amazon page. Linda, I'm sorry. Sheila, my sponge does not tear up. No. Then again, I get people that say, do you get brush marks? And I'm like, no. I don't know what magic I'm made of, but I do not get brush strokes. And this does not, and it lasts forever. Now, I won't say maybe that I clean it as good as I should, but I've had it a long while. So, don't overload and don't underload. Only by practice will you learn exactly how much you need on a sponge. There is no rhyme or reason. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that detail with, and don't go over it too much. Just get it on there. Don't keep going back and forth. I've seen people who somehow manage to get brush strokes with the sponge, and that amazes me every time. I can't even tell you how they do that so that I can tell you how to avoid it. Do not overwork it. Especially as a beginner, you keep thinking, oh, I got to do that, and I got to go back over there, and oh, it needs one more, follow through. Don't. Put it down and leave it. And don't worry at all what the first coat looks like, because the first coat is not the important one. The first coat is more like your primer. Your second coat is where you get coverage and magic. And I mean, do you see, and I don't know if y'all can tell, I can't see your comments, guys. I don't know if y'all can tell, this desk is huge. It's like I think it's 5 feet wide, actually. It's big. It's big. And do you see, that's over half of it, and that was what? Like 60 seconds? I know some of my girls that are with me all the time, I have a feeling there's questions I'm not getting to and I'm not answering, and I hope some of my girls are like helping me out and answering some of the questions for me. Does anybody else's mouth start hurting because y'all just talk too much, or is it just me? Do you know anybody else who has that problem? That might be a better question. Look at that. Oh, Lord, y'all. It's going to be pretty. And I'll have to come back with a brush because these are so detailed. And I'll tell you this. I'm going to have to do this piece with the hardware on. Because I started taking the hardware off, and I obviously have to do all 4 sides. Because let me tell y'all something. This is meant to be looked at from both ways, and it is just as gorgeous going as it is coming. Just as detailed everywhere. And I started to take the hardware off, and I got this off, and I came over here, and I mean, from as long as I've been doing this, I'm used to, I don't know, getting the occasional piece where the drawer won't come out, or, oh my gosh, if you've never been lucky enough to get one of those pieces that the hardware didn't have a screw, and for the life of you, you could not figure out how to get this hardware off. There was literally nothing back there. There's a hole there, but there's not a screw. There's not a nail. There's not a visible screw or nail going through it. And what you don't know is some wicked, twisted person a long time ago thought, ooh, that looks like a cool way to make a piece of hardware. And it's literally like affixed in from the front, and you need to get a small screwdriver and a hammer and stick your screwdriver in the back of that hole where you would be unscrewing, but you need to be hammering and push that hardware out forward. Love that. But this actually has no back at all. This is a felt lined drawer. And I would actually have to tear and rip the felt to get to the screw backs, and I'm not about to do that. So I'm going to be painting this with the hardware on it. Monique, I'm so proud of you. Doesn't it feel good? Like you never forget your first piece. Monique, when the drawers are stuck, you can do so many things. You can get a bar of soap. You can get a tapered candlestick. And I'm thinking you've got those at home, so those are not having to spend any money. You take the drawer out and you rub it all over the base of the drawer and then on the interior where all the wood rubs and meets. And over time, you work it and it will loosen itself up. And if you use Irish Spring, it'll smell really good too. I like Wise Owl Furniture Salve for almost everything. So that would be something I would look into. Of course you did. Of course, Mediterranean. Of course it does, sold like that. Bonnie, I'm so sorry you guys that I'm like missing comments. I don't know if y'all rather just like listen to me talk or you actually want me to work. But I'm not going to be able to see your questions. And while I've still got some left on my plate, I want to go ahead and use it. Like, the last thing I want is my paint to dry out on me. And before somebody asks on camera, it will appear that I just paint this and I don't come back and get this interior of these drawers right here. And yes, absolutely, I come back and get all this right here, and the sponge makes it the easiest thing ever to do the nice, straight, clean sides of the drawers. I would never think to leave that half done. Like, that would not be cool. But there are just so many small ways you don't think of where a sponge, because I never in my life thought of painting with a sponge before Heirloom Traditions. But there are so many ways you never thought of that a sponge can just make life so handy. I remember the first time I painted with a sponge, I was like, who freaking thought of this? Genius. So, like I said, it looks like I would not, now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to use this in this case because I need a longer, I need to go up here. Don't ever forget to get under your lip, because there ain't nothing worse or more embarrassing than when you're loading it to put in a car and you have put all the effort into it to clean it and sand it and paint it and sheave it or gold leaf it or wax it or do whatever, and you go to load it in a car at just the right angle and you haven't taken care to get right up under here. And this is so beautiful, and this is so beautiful, and then there's the ugly original wood, or maybe not ugly wood, but you know what I'm saying. It looks like a job half done. So y'all don't ever think that when y'all see me painting with drawers in that I don't go back and finish it. And that is speaking from experience, trying to save you, because I did that a long time ago. Kayla, yes, felt lined, and I'm not even going to touch it because I'm going to come back with black Shiva, and then I'm going to gold highlight over that. And between my antique gold rub and buff and my iridescent gold Shiva, I guarantee you that. And I think it would look it'll look a little aged not being completely gold. And then if I don't like it, I'll take them off and do it anyway. Yes, Monique, I will take them out. Or I'll pull them out. With these are literally connected by like metal. These suckers are in there. I'll pull them out, but I'll probably just stop right here. Not take them out. But I will finish it up. Antonia, beautiful name by the way. I'm using Heirloom Traditions All-in-One in Mediterranean. How do you clean off the hardware after painting over it? I won't clean it off. I won't clean it off. I'll do it blue, and then I will determine what colors, and if I want to use Rub and Buff or Shiva, probably Shiva since it's self-sealing, and I will use that. This will only be my third piece that I've done with the hardware on. And I just really, I mean, stuff happens, and I'm not poking a hole. I don't want to poke a hole in the felt. Y'all are probably questioning my sanity, but I am pretty sure that when we come back and y'all see the hardware and whatnot, y'all will think I did okay. I don't think anybody's going to think it's ugly when I'm done with it, or looks undone or not right. So you guys, for you guys that have followed me for the past couple of days, y'all realize that those nightstands I was working on are gone, which means I've taken photos of them and staged them, and it's time to start posting teasers because I'm a mean witch. I'm sorry, I'm getting so much joy out of posting teasers lately. Instead of just like all that work and then you just put 18 pictures on one post and show everybody everything. The joy of the teaser. And I have moved them out. They are fully curing. Houston client loves them. She has said, okay, there's my second bristle. So I've done quite a bit and I've only lost 2 bristles. They are going to come through Waco on October 6th and pick them up. She's ever so excited. But the nightstands are actually right behind y'all. And they will be blanket wrapped and plastic wrapped before she comes, and they're going to go home. But I posted a teaser of the hardware this morning that I did. See? That I did in with Rub and Buff. And and it's time to start I'm telling y'all, certain angles in certain ways, the silver on the Stonehenge is amazing. Like I said, that's the first time I've done that combo. Oh! Heidi, I am not like a creative out-of-the-box thinker either. We are like of the same kind of club. It's just, I don't want to poke a hole in the felt. I took these 2 off and then came to get that one off because that would be ideal. But it's felt, and it's felt all the way up the back. So it's either poke a hole in it, which Kayla says will be okay. I'm sure it would be okay and nobody would even notice. And to be honest, through the felt, I can feel the back of a screw. So worst comes to worst. But again, I've done pieces with the hardware on, and like what I have in my mind and the way that I'm going to use black and gold, I think this is going to be okay and look sort of aged. I may even put a small hint of green Shiva on it to sort of like patina. I don't know. I'll make it as I go. TJ Davis. Can't believe I'm painting that. Well, it's a reproduction. It's not all solid real wood. It had scratches and dings, and I had to do a ton of repair to one leg to get it stabilized. So yeah, it was beautiful in its previous life and then died, and now I'm resurrecting it. So I'm out of paint. One more time, y'all. Mediterranean. I appreciate all the shares that I see going across the page. Y'all know I love that. So we'll see. I mean, we will do the hardware together. Bad live. We will do the hardware together if you guys want to join me, and we will figure out what looks best and if I need to go back and get the paint off and what I need to do. But I promise it'll be okay. That's the glory of painting is, you know, everybody's so scared to do it, and you're so scared you're going to make a mistake. And there are no mistakes. You can go back and fix it. You can sand it off. You can clean it. You can paint over it. You can start over. That is the joy that is this. And we will figure it out together. Half the stuff I do, I don't even know what I'm going to do till I'm doing it. So far, I'm loving this brush. Yeah, I don't know. I think I will go online and see where my hubby got it and look at the reviews. Miss Marguerite says that she owned it and the metal broke off. But I think I'll go online and look at the reviews, and I very well may add it to my Amazon store today. Because how convenient is that? What? Oh, Fran, yeah. Everybody wants my mechanic soul. Michelle, do you have this brush? Does anybody have this brush? I'd like to know what y'all think. First time I'm using it. I'm shocked I've only lost a couple of bristles so far. I may be off the floor, but I sure am having to bend over. Here's something else I learned a long time ago. Make sure you look up as well as look down. It's really easy for me to see all the details and the lines of the details going this way. And then a lot of people would actually forget to get off the chair and sit on the ground and look up and look at it from the other direction. That's where you see that under your lip isn't done and the angle of the details aren't done in certain places. And I didn't put it up on anything, so I'm having to remind myself, girl, you better pounce all around those feet. But I make this paint look so easy to work with, don't I? It really is. I'm telling you, I don't think it's liking this humidity. I'm going to go back real quick. I cannot stand to have that done, and I'm looking at this line of details right here. I can't stand it. Sorry. I hate it when I get in front of y'all. Sweat. I know when I sweat, it's not helping those spots on my face. And this is called stippling. It's just sort of patting it in there. And since this is a self-leveling paint, that is okay to do. I see a ton of women say they actually stipple their entire first coat and then brush on their second coat. And it lays. But with this amount of details, stippling is the way to go. Make sure you guys are going with me. Oh, sorry. Okay, there's my third bristle. So considering this is the first time I've used this brush, 3 bristles on this amount I'm sorry. What the heck am I saying? That was a bristle out of my favorite brush ever. What do you guys think? I think I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera. I'm sorry. You guys know I could go on forever. Every time I go back and look at a live, I like go between exactly 1 hour and 4 minutes and 1 hour and 10 minutes. I don't know how I do it. It just happens. Fran, I really want, if anybody wants to send me one, I really want one of those clippable, attachable, like screen garage door covers or whatnot, because all the trees in the neighborhood are fixing to fall, and all my neighbor's trees are about to come into my yard, and it's gonna into my garage, and it's gonna frustrate the heck out of me. And Harbor Freight has those. Linda, thank you so much. Monique, I've only talked 40 minutes. It's like, what the heck? Hi from Denmark. I so want to know how to say your name. I don't want to butcher it. Guys, I love all the likes and shares, and I so appreciate it. Maybe I should do like some Monday morning more often, because it's been a while. Jillian. Okay, I won't go. Thanks, Christina. You talked me into it. Like it was that hard to talk me into continue talking. I won't go because I can't believe I'm only at 40 minutes. Like, what a slacker. So, let me quickly, let me figure out, Lord, I'm not techie. Okay, I think I just figured out how to keep that from falling. And I'm going to go over here real fast and tap the details right here. And then I'll turn it around and we'll start on the back. How does that sound? So if anybody is joining me for the first time, I know that I see a ton of names I've never seen before. My name is Nicole Kappas. I'm with Two Broke Housewives in Waco, Texas. I've been refinishing furniture since 2013. I started when one of my 4 children got a ton of medical diagnosis, and probably the same reason a lot of you guys started, trying to figure out how to bring extra money in. And in my case, I was trying to figure out how to stay home and bring extra money in. And trust me, I paid medical bills from 2013 well into 2015. He had a couple of brain surgeries. He had 3 surgeries total. That is also hence why my name is Two Broke Housewives. There is not another broke housewife. I just thought 2 sounded better than 1. 1 is the loneliest number, but there is truly only 1 broke housewife. So Nicole, it's me. And honey, if you don't like talking and rambling and like ADD and women who do lives and talk a lot and go off rambling in different directions, I might not be your cup of coffee. But that's okay. Y'all wait till you see the back side. It is just as beautiful as the front side. And it's heavy. Oh, Lord. I need a Diet Coke right now. Jillian, I'm using my favorite brush. It's on my Amazon page. If you like or follow my page, Two Broke Housewives, you push shop now. Or I already attached a direct link on this post directly to this paint color, but it'll take you into my Amazon store and you can see everything that I use on a daily basis. There's nothing on my store or on my Amazon page that I haven't used or are using or can't tell you about or answer questions. I use it all. And my favorite brush is on there. And for the first time, I'm getting tons of questions about this brush. My husband sent me a bouquet of new brushes over the summer. And I just thought, how cool. So this is my first time using it. I've used 2 bristles. I kind of like it. I already have a follower who's watching me, and she said she had this and the metal came off of it. So I'm probably going to go check out the reviews. But so far, I'm loving it. And I am not a $50 brush kind of girl. Sorry. Just not paying $50 for a brush. But if the reviews are good, and depending on what Ryan, my husband, spent on this, I might go ahead and add it to my page because I have a ton of y'all asking. Now let me shut up before my paint dries. Hey, here's another tip. This is very easy to see because this is such a big piece. But if you're doing a little desk or a little vanity and say the trim comes down to here, you always forget. Like you get done with it and you get back to take your pretty picture of it. And you look and you realize, I forgot to do all 4 sides of the legs. So, it's okay. It's my 20-year-old. Thanks, Bernice. The brown side was absolutely beautiful. If it wasn't so quite jacked up, I probably wouldn't have painted it. I would have just flipped it. Jillian, you are so welcome. Heidi, I said that a while ago because of arthritis. I don't know if I have arthritis, but dadgummit, my left hand starts to cramp up sometimes. It's cramping up just thinking of grabbing this. And so I'm going to use this and let y'all know what I think. Real quick, and I know I keep switching here between the 2 brushes, but I prefer to get under the lip with a longer brush. If you have never invested in a round brush, take my word for it, you do not know what you're missing. Okay, so I'm just going to go under and do the lip with my long brush. And then I'll come back into view and we will continue getting all these details. Let me make sure y'all are back. Kim, I'm going to have to live with tendonitis, I swear. Lauren, I did not all over sand first, but I've had this for so many months, and trust me, the furniture that is behind you, that is my inventory, is triple stacked in some places, and I made a couple of really good scratches on top of this, so I had to sand and smooth out the top, and I used a 220 grit with the sander that's on my Amazon page. Well, hey Keith, welcome to my page. I did not rent a beautiful piece of furniture. I appreciate your opinion, but this is a reproduction piece, not solid wood. And if you had seen it in person and seen the dirt and the filth and the scratches and the veneer that was chinked off and whatnot, I am pretty certain that you would positively agree with me that it needed some brightening and lightening. But I appreciate it. I'm so glad you're here, Antonia. Hi, Lauren. Oh, and by the way, I would gladly flip a piece of furniture as opposed to painting it. Quarter sawn oak is like one of my favorites. Like, it speaks to my heart. If there is any way to clean up a piece of quarter sawn oak furniture and beautify it and flip it, I will gladly do that all day long. But I do have a suggestion in that if you are not a fan of painted furniture, I'm almost positive you are not going to like my page. So you might want to just hop. yesterday why all my pieces have so much detail. And it's because it took me a long time to look for these pieces. And when I see these pieces, I try to grab them because they're not always easy to find. And then I kind of hoard them because I just want to stare at them for a while. And you see, I really am just tapping that paint into all those details. And I'm telling you, you couldn't do this with a regular, you know, rectangular brush. I mean, a lot of what you can do, you don't realize how much the shape of a brush makes a difference. When I first started, that amount of detail would have been completely overwhelming. Ugh. And honestly, that just made easy work of it. Just make sure you don't leave any drips. Go back and just smooth it out without overworking it. I'm going to just squeeze in under here and get the back of that leg over there before I forget. And you guys should always make sure you get the very bottom of your feet too. That is such an easy place to forget. Okay, I'll move y'all over here with me. Oh, Lord, you know, yesterday when I was live, there was a ton of mosquitoes, and today there's just a ton of flies. Texas, you gotta love it. I don't know if this was a Southern thing. This just keeps going through my head. I don't know if this is a Southern thing or a grandma thing or just my grandma thing. But if my grandmother was here right now, she'd be like, oh, Lawsy. Like, God love her. Nikki, go sit down and relax for a minute. Anybody else's grandma say, oh, Lawsy? Okay, I'm going to get the other brush and tap into the details. Brenda, I want it on my front door too. Hey, Lori Christie, I appreciate you being here. I don't know what this is, but I wish I knew. Kremlin. Y'all, hey, y'all are having fun without me. Y'all go right ahead. I'll just sit here and paint. Come back with me. I bet you don't say it in Canada, Debbie, but it's all Lawsy. It's like half sort of taking the Lord's name in vain just a little bit in a southerly grandma way. Now, I tell you, I feel like I could stipple a lot easier with this small brush than that big brush. I just feel like it's a little bit heavier and a little bit bulkier. And You know, I have a feeling y'all are all talking about painting furniture. Why, Tina, thank you. Oh, Keith. Yeah, y'all are all talking about that. And listen, it's all right. We all have our opinions, and not everything makes everybody happy. But this was not solid wood. Let me be clear. Let me put your mind to rest. This is not solid wood. But to be fair, and it's so easy to judge a picture by its cover. And my gosh, don't we do that all day long? All the time? We do. That's half of what's wrong in the world. But to be fair to me, I typically paint furniture. For the last 4 or so years, I've been strictly custom work, where people brought their stuff to me, and you cannot fathom the stuff that, I'm sorry, for the love of money, I have been paid to paint. That did not, Keith, seriously, you and I could go have a beer and cry together, and I'm not even playing right now. That did not have a nick or a scratch and was like freaking solid mahogany and horrible. And I had to paint it. And in some cases, I had to paint them some god-awful colors. But that's what I'm paid to do. And again, in fairness, I'll sell anything I have unpainted. All they got to do is buy it. And I'm not painting anything that is an immaculate, solid antique. I'm sure you think I don't have boundaries, but I do. And like I said, quarter sawn oak is my thing. I will stain it all day long. I'm perfectly able, I'm a great stainer and a great sealer on that. But this is pretty much a painted furniture page. So please just be fair to me, and I'll respect you. And I want everybody else to respect everybody too. He's got his opinion. He thinks it's a beautiful piece of furniture, but in fairness, it is not solid wood. It is a reproduction. It is tacked and nailed together drawers. It's a super nice, heavy, detailed, well-made piece. But antique or solid wood or dovetailed, I think not. So, is there anything else? I paint old things too, but not, if there's any way to avoid quarter sawn oak or tiger stripe oak, and you just don't see real wood hardly much anymore. You walk into a furniture store and spend $5,000 for a bed. And I'm talking about like the manufacturers. I don't know if you guys have lax. It is fine. I'm fine with us, Keith. But I don't know what big furniture stores you'll have. We have Du Bois, and that is where you will spend a pretty penny. And I probably should not have named an exact name, but you think you're going to get solid wood. And let me tell you the trick to that. You heat up a tack or a tiny nail to red hot. You stick it in the back of the leg, a very inconspicuous place. And if it melts right into it, that is a resin or reproduction or whatever it is. It's not solid wood, because nothing is going to just easily melt right into solid wood. And you just really don't, you see a lot of reproduction these days and not real wood. And in my defense, this is not real wood. And somebody bought it and paid for it. It's paid for, and this is what she wants it. So I'm making my living. Thank you, Regina. Kelly, I am using chalk paint. I'm using Heirloom Traditions all-in-one. And I actually love the front piece part before you painted that last one. Oh, I know, but girl, with this amount of detail, and once I get some gold and some black Shiva and go to town on this detail, it's not even going to look like this. It's going to look completely different, but without saying this is my absolutely favorite color ever. Linda, welcome. Let me shut up and go finish this leg. You guys, I know I'm over an hour now. And honestly, I hope that Keith is still here watching. I mean, but be fair to me, please. I'll totally respect your opinion, but you respect the fact that I get paid in most cases to paint furniture and will be cool. I'm almost done, guys. Like one more side and I'm done. And Tina, I'm sorry. I just remembered you said I had great legs. Why? Thank you. My boys would probably all dry heave and barf in their own mouths if they knew you just said that. And I'm having a freaking breakout of psoriasis right now all over my legs. So honestly, thanks a lot, because when I think of my legs, all I see is that dadgum psoriasis. If anybody knows like a great oil or something on freaking psoriasis, I would appreciate it. Oh. If you're new to me, my name is Nicole. Everything that I use is available on my Amazon page. I appreciate the small support of me and my family. I am using Heirloom Traditions. All-in-one chalk paint. Self-leveling, self-sealing, standalone, and it's amazing, and it's changed my life. In fact, when I started in 2013, and you can catch the replay, find out why and how I started. When I started, I was all chalk paint. I was all a certain brand, not an extremely well-known brand, not the brand you probably think. And then I learned that I liked to, believe it or not, I like to sand and I like to seal. And I liked all the muscle work, and I was all Sherwin-Williams for several years. And then I discovered this paint about a year ago, and wow. If you had told me that there would be a paint that I could apply with a sponge, and that I would not, out of necessity, have to wax or seal, I would have never believed you. Now, I will wax here and there, but that's just when I want to add something to it. I mean, for instance, in all those boxes back there that I haven't even opened yet, I have some white lime gel wax and some black gel wax, and I cannot wait to use it, but it is not a necessity on this paint. I can't believe more of y'all are asking about this daggone brush than about the paint. And it's just a brush my husband had sent to me. And I'm using it and seeing how it feels. And if I like it. And if I like it, it came off Amazon, and I'll add it to my page. But I don't want to recommend something to y'all that I don't like. So, I'm just seeing if I like it. And I've done this whole big old desk in it, and I've only lost 2 bristles. And I like that it's like a ball to hold. It doesn't hurt my hands. Y'all, I'm about to sweat. Like, I am sweating. Diet Coke is calling my name. that's it. One coat everywhere. Ugh. Honestly, and Keith, I hope you're still here. Oh Lord, are y'all still talking? That's the problem. Can't we all just get along? Let's just get along. I'm gonna think what I think, and y'all think what y'all think, and it's okay. We just gotta agree to disagree, and it's all right. Yes, Lisa, this paint works for kitchen cabinets. Keith, I'm glad you're still here. And I'm sorry, not sorry that I'm missing all the conversations going on. I'm all right, y'all. I appreciate, like, y'all's, I'm sure y'all are rallying for painted furniture and whatnot. And it's all right. I mean, I expressed it, and I said it's not real wood, and it's all right. But that is a beautiful color. Can we agree on that? That it's a beautiful color? Okay, y'all got anything? Oh, much better. Do y'all see the sweat glistening on my face? Keith, I'm just, I've recently stopped doing custom work. I am no longer going to do custom work. I no longer want to paint antique white or farmhouse. It's beautiful. I just don't want to do it, and I don't want to paint reds. I want to paint all the beautiful colors I want to paint. And when I was doing customs, I was working until like 2 and 3 in the morning, and it was steady. Get those number of jobs out every single week. Drop off on the weekend, they pick up on the weekend. Drop off, pick up, and you lose your creative self. I'd much rather be doing this. This color, KJ, is Mediterranean. Rita, I appreciate you being here. Kim, thank you. Wanda, thank you. Emu oil. Now, where the heck am I going to find that? I would show y'all, but I think it's super gross. The thing is, I have not had a psoriasis outbreak since I was a teenager. Quite frankly, I forgot that I'd had it. And it popped up. I don't know what I thought it was, and I tried to scrub it, and boy, was that a big mistake. And it's pretty bad now. Anyway, burnt out. Joanne, I don't know if you're working, but when you, Angie, I appreciate it. Emu oil. Joanne, when you get off work tonight, if you are working, or if you have babies, you put the baby in the playpen right beside you because it's low voc. You're not going to smell anything. You can use this in the house. And you just get one chair and start on it, and you will thank me for telling you to start on it. Wanda Moore, Finish All is Heirloom Traditions' other paint line that is pretty much exactly the same, but it stretches, so you can use it on fabric. Is there anything else, guys? Francis, thanks for jumping on here at the end. Hashtag replay. I appreciate y'all. Thanks, Helly, Jamie. Thanks, everybody. Bye.